Hello and welcome to my brief review video for the DJI Neo drone. I've owned the drone for around about a week now, and I just wanted to talk about that experience and hopefully pass on some helpful hints and tips. So we will start with the fact that this is an introductory drone and a lightweight one, which means that you don't need a license to operate it. In the box, you'll get the drone itself, obviously, and you will get this pack that contains your quick start guide. And that, for me, is where top tip number one comes in, is that oddly, the QR code for the DJI Fly app, which is the licensed app, flagged certainly on my device to be a potentially unsafe app. And so rather than getting straight into flying, I spent more time than I would have liked having a look into other potential apps that I could use to operate the drone. In the end, what I discovered is that I could tick a little box that just acknowledged that there was a potential risk and that I accepted it. And I'm happy to say that I have operated the drone without any issues at all. So understandably, in this day and age, if there's something that flags as unsafe, you are going to want to look into it. And there are lots of apps out there that make it look like they're official, and they are not. But it was, as you would expect, okay, given that it was the QR code that came pre-packaged with the unit and sealed. So the app itself is going to allow you to link to the drone for its flight and also to do some manual controls and get some very useful heads-up displays. Onto the drone itself, as you can see, you probably can't get a sense of scale here, but it will take off and land from the palm of your hand. The case that's in the background is actually bought separately, so I'll talk a little bit about that, but it won't be a full review. The quick start guide is going to prompt you to go through a couple of different steps, which involves removing the protective cover from the camera and the gimbal itself, which is on the front of the unit there. As you can see, the camera itself, the gimbal goes up and down, but not side to side, and I found that more than usable to capture the footage. There are 4 propellers, all of which have got protective covers on top of them, which you can see here, and they can be removed should you need to replace any of those propeller blades, which just clip on and off. Propeller protectors are going to be an excellent idea because this is lightweight. I understand it's quite durable, although I don't intend to crash it, hopefully. Other top tip is that the propeller blades are not all the same, so the packs that you get with them will show, you get 2 replacement ones I should say, they will show where on the drone you can fit them, and you also get this little screwdriver because, as you can imagine, the screws are tiny. You also get the USB-C to USB-C charging cable, which can also be used to transfer your files. Now, you don't need that to transfer your files. I would say is that the unit comes with some built-in storage, and whilst it's got power, you can upload them to your mobile device. Battery-wise, it is detachable on the bottom of the unit. The only real reason I can see that we would need to ever take that off is if you had more than one battery, which I think is going to be a good idea. So you can charge through the USB-C port on the back there, and a full charge is going to take 60 minutes and give you 18 minutes flight time, hence why a backup battery for me is going to seem a good idea. The initial launch sequence will prompt you to take off the protective cover, as I demonstrated there, although it still capture pretty good picture quality. As the camera moves angle, it will capture the edges of that plastic and make it affect the quality. It will make it look like you're filming underwater almost. And so the unit itself, as you've probably seen on other videos, you can operate it completely without the remote control. There are preset tracking options. I do like to have the app one because then I've got some manual control of the drone just in case it gets blown off course or anything like that. Quickly back to the case. As you can see, it's got foam cutaways to snugly store the drone also a space for an extra battery and a little bit of storage there for your cables and your whatever else you might want to put in there. And that for me is one of the key aims, is this is an incredibly lightweight and portable device. The case itself wasn't too expensive. You can see the scale of it in terms of the size of my hand. And so that what that means is that rather than a clunky drone that I'm potentially not going to be able to carry everywhere, and more importantly, an expensive one that I am concerned about damaging, this is going to be very user-friendly, and I've found that I've taken it pretty much everywhere with me when I've gone for a little wander. When I say I'm not worried about damaging it, obviously I don't want to damage the drone itself, but I do want to also enjoy it. So there are, on the app heads-up display, it will give you prompts about good flight conditions, so you don't want to fly in overly windy conditions or in poorly lit conditions, because the main tracker on the drone is actually generated via AI. And so one of the launch conditions is going to be that the camera needs to be facing you, because you're its point of reference. Useful on there is also obviously the remaining battery and flight time, and you will got prompts which include audio prompts that when you're running low on battery to get the drone back near to you. What will happen is on the bottom of the drone there are two sensors that will detect that it's a safe landing zone. So essentially when you hold out the palm of your hand, it will see that it's a safe place to land and power down, which is really user friendly. I've not yet let it run completely out of battery to see whether it just lands or falls out of the sky. I don't really want to do that. And I've also not tested the limits of the range in terms of distance away or the altitude, because the conditions haven't been great, but I will give those a go at some point. I'll end the video with a little bit of footage of me on one of the flights. So as you can see, I've got this in a direction setting, and I've got the app there ready to just tweak any settings as I go. So even on those preset ones, you can make tweaks to the altitude and the direction just to expand on the footage that you will get. And so that's where I will end my brief review. I will summarize by saying that it's an incredibly easy to use drone. The picture quality is really good. Slight downside is that if you want to capture audio via your mobile device as you fly in the drone, well, that's not great. But overall, for the price point, I really can't have anything negative to say about this, and I've already had a lot of fun operating it. And I will be uploading more videos as I get to grips more with the drone itself. Hope you find that useful. If there's anything I can help you with comments wise, just drop something in there and I'll make sure to respond. Thanks.